Thanks for joining us. This week, I've got the pleasure of chatting with Ed Shore. His credits include Deadmau5 and Coachella, Above and Beyond, and Splinter. The founder and creative director of Neico sat down with us to talk about his projects and his process.
Of the stuff on the website, there are plenty that we could get lost in, but is there one you are most excited about or most proud of, or one that was the biggest shit show, or whatever?
They're all the biggest shit show. I know that I'm proud of them all. Splinter for being the most recent, and it was my brainchild from almost start to finish, but definitely from start with some help along the way.
Can you give the sort of elevator pitch on what it is?
Okay, so I was sat on the couch just going through Instagram and YouTube, just kind of browsing as you do. There was a really amazing projection mapping project where they used live data projected onto the inside of a warehouse on every single wall, every single floor. I sat next to my wife and I was like, I really want to do something like this or see something. But like, there's never anything around, especially in Vegas, that has ever been like that. So that kind of just sparked an idea for creating something myself. So I got various people involved, various people excited about it. Our main sponsor was LimeLight with their AI servers. We also got X-Laser, Roby, GLP, a couple of other people to come in and sponsor us. And then I think it took about 8 months or so. And we did it at the same time as LDI in Las Vegas. So we could attract the same people. And it was basically a 3-day video art installation, which was all run from, generated and created with Notch. Through the AI servers. We had multiple areas. The first area which you came into was the tunnel with mirrors above it, so it created a double height to it.
Yeah, okay.
And with that we had about 20 different scenes which were all generated in Notch, generated in real time. They reacted to the audio that was playing. So the audio that it reacted to was generated from the second area. So when people were interacting with that section, it was generating audio, which was then sending MIDI triggers through Ableton, through Notch, an AI server, back to my content, or our content, which was then changing speed, glitch, size, or various different effects for each different thing. The word immersive is battered around probably more than it should be, but it really was.
Sure.
It was like you were in this big area which felt nice and kind of cozy with the content above you and on the side of you. It was just a really nice experience, just kind of being totally surrounded by content which was reacting to the audio. The second area was done by Brett Bolton, who is a local Notch artist who I've worked with on a couple of things. His section was fully interactive. The user generated the audio and the video, and it was called Potential Energy. That's the sound and MIDI triggers which went through to the tunnel. So it was like you could have 5 different people all along this 90-foot wall that could all be playing with each other and interacting with audio and video.
That's awesome.
And it was a pretty cool experience, actually. We also had a third video installation which was done by Notch themselves. So they were involved, they were one of our sponsors, and they had another wall, which they had an interactive installation on as well.
Was the response really positive?
Yeah, it was amazing. We had, as well as the art side, the video art installation in there. And then the second room was where all our main sponsors were.
That's awesome.
But yes, the feedback was amazing, really, because usually, especially with LDI, you've got so many people fighting for attention. Mm-hmm. And you might get like someone come to the LimeLight stand for a minute, maybe 2 minutes, have a quick chat and then move on. With this, there was an area for them to come and talk and hang out and chat. Obviously have a drink because it's LDI, so we had a bar there. We got people there so they could stay for half an hour, or however long they wanted to, and hang out and talk properly and ask questions with the sponsors and talk about problems or things they want to see in the future.
Were there, I mean, not to sort of show how the sausage is made, but were there problems? Did you discover in the install process the things you had to do differently and adapt?
It was quite nice because it was kind of rough and ready. It looked like a pop-up installation, which we were kind of going for, but it was like our only option really, because it's the first year. We had a good budget for doing a first year thing. You look at what's going on, you don't look at what's like kind of behind the scenes. But it kind of lent itself to that nice kind of pop-up vibe. I think for the next one, the architecture and the structures in there with video. So that's the thing. There wasn't really a problem. It's just how I know how we can make it like amazing this year. More amazing. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Jewel was the first time that I'd kind of been given the reins took the reins on the content, a lot of the hardware and integration, to see that kind of come to fruition and to see it open and how beautiful it looks. So it's a much smaller venue. We did everything from, there's a LED staircase with LED up the side of it. It's really beautiful entry. Content that we made there was very detailed and beautifully finished. You also had to be very careful with the LED leading up the stairs. You had to create it in the right way so it wasn't disorientating to people.
Sure, you have some folks that have had a cocktail or 2 or 5.
Yeah.
Is the staircase visible from outside the velvet rope? Do I see that as the thing that's drawing me?
There's an escalator which comes down to it. So as you're coming down the escalator, you can see straight through. And
the content is stunning that I've seen the sample of. Is it fixed as an art installation, or are there seasonal overlays? Or
the way it works, well, especially in Vegas, is anything that can have a logo on it can be sold. It will be sold. So yeah, when there's corporate events, like you'll have like logos and stuff, or they'll completely turn off.
The venue has so much luminous surfaces surrounding people. I mean, again, throwing out the word immersive in a big way.
Working at OMNIA is amazing, and you've got that amazing chandelier, which is like, I controlled that, and it's just like, it's an amazing toy to be able to have and play with 3 times a week. And I went and did Coachella. I was like, it's like a breath of fresh air, just being able to get back out into the field again, like literally in the field, and work with different people and do something different. So it was that prompted me. So I drove back from Palm Springs. Told my wife we're going to dinner.
This is the most expensive meal we're going to have for a while. I'm quitting my
Well, no, she was like, oh, thank God. I've got a young daughter still, obviously. She's 4, but at that time I'd been working at OMNIA from when she was born until I left when she was 2. So it was just a lot. I was just a walking zombie all the time. Even on like days off, you never really recover from that depth of tiredness, because I was working the daytimes in the office sometimes, and also the night time. So there was a constant shift of. So when I quit, I realized what it's like not to be tired again.
Well, Coachella's the one that everyone hears about. Well, specifically Instagram. What's the process at Coachella? So you've got a bunch of acts coming through your stage. Are they all bringing content? Are some bringing content? Is it an easy process of getting them in? Is it the worst?
Yes.
You don't have to say names.
No. The last one, virtually everybody had a VJ. So it was more of a babysitting role, which is why I wasn't really too bothered about going back again. So you had the headline acts who came in, who was super professional, obviously, knew what they were doing, and there's not much you have to do. You just have to kind of help them plug in, give any advice that they need. And then on the flip side of that, you get the people who don't have that experience, especially on such a massive stage and in front of so many people. So that they took a little bit more. But most of them are really nice, and they're friendly, and they're grateful.
It's a cool place to perform. What is your pixel space? How big is Coachella's raster? What are you looking at?
I think that was about 10,000 pixels wide.
Okay, and are you asking acts are you providing them with a pixel layout or a pixel map?
Yes, well, the majority of them used their own content and mapped it accordingly. Then you had a couple of people who came with fully custom content.
That's awesome. I feel like that's hard to nail. If the raster is so specific and they're not there to tweak it and love it in advance.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
What's the schedule? Do you roll in as the sun's coming up and stay there out 24 hours?
Well, with Coachella, I got there usually a couple of days before, so that the night that I get in is hopefully the night that I can do my programming, and then the next night will be the first artist for the first day. And it's 3 days each weekend, same artist and everything, which makes the second weekend a lot easier. Which kind
Are
of
you working front of house, or do they have a?
Yeah, it's always front of house. Yeah.
Okay. There's no air conditioned trailer for you to spend your whole day in.
The second year was all right because they changed the tent. They switched it round. So the first year, as soon as you got to 1 o'clock, you've got, it's like the mega structure. So it's the arch.
Yeah.
And it, like long ways around, you have DJ this end, front of house this end. But as soon as you got to like midday, 1 o'clock, the sun hit front of house. And it was constantly like desert sun all the way through to the sunset. So we were having nightmares with kit overheating and melting and like touring people coming in, especially with Max, and they was just like not having it. So we had like 15 to 20 like full like parasols, which you had to keep moving around to keep out of the sun. The next year was a lot better because they switched the tent around, so it was constantly in the shade, and it made a massive difference. It's quite comfortable in there because even the DJs' laptops were crashing the first year.
Whoa.
Which was highly embarrassing for them. So as soon as that sun hit the back of the laptop, and it's just
it's on fire.
Yeah.
And you can only play the whack-a-mole game of blocking out the sunlight so effectively.
Yeah.
We hope you'll join us for part 3. We'll tackle some questions submitted by you, and we let another guest of the show pose a question to Ed. We'll probably even announce the next guest. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow LimeLight Wired on Instagram. I'm Chris Werner, and we've got more for you in part 3.